Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining our LinkedIn Live. We are going to share with you all things KeySteps powered by FinLocker. And what I'd like to do before we get rolling is play a short overview video for you. This video is what loan officers are using today as part of their up-funnel marketing. So I will play this video for you. I'll give you a little teaser and how some loan officers are using the marketing here. And it'll also give you some feature updates on the app
journey, no matter where you're starting from or where you're at now. And the best part, it's completely free. With KeySteps, you can monitor your credit score and credit report and even simulate changes to see how they could impact your future home purchase. The Homeownership Snapshot provides a personalized mortgage readiness assessment along with a dynamic action plan to guide you every step of the way. Enrolling financial accounts allows you to track your net worth, savings, and spending with ease and get a clear picture of your financial health. Search for your dream home, favorite the ones you love, and see how they fit into your financial picture, all within the app. Need expert advice? With KeySteps, you're always connected to your loan officer. Reach out anytime, right through the app. Plus, dive into a wealth of educational content to help you make informed financial decisions, and rest assured your data is safe and secure and never shared without your permission. KeySteps, because your journey to homeownership deserves the best tools, and they're all right here.
All right, so that is an example of a piece of content that we created for our clients that are using KeySteps, and we're seeing a lot of success with those loan officers using that video among some of the other content, which I'm going to share for you today, to draw consumers to their version of KeySteps. So as we get rolling, I'm going to go through a few slides and just kind of set the tone for what we're going to show you today. I love seeing the comments already flowing through. So do us a favor. Let's trick up the LinkedIn algorithm. Drop in where you're watching live from today. I'm in Novi, Michigan. It's the first day of spring, and go figure, it's snowing today. But anyway, let's get rolling. So you can scan this QR code. This will take you to an information page where you can learn more about the subscription program, but also depending on what you learned today, if you want a more detailed one-on-one meeting with our team, this QR code will take you to that as well. So let's start by talking about the reality, right? If we think about early journey, first-time home buyers, and I'm going to say early journey, first-time home buyers a lot, I'm talking about consumers who are 6, 12, 18, 24, and more months up the funnel from being ready to buy and finance, right? Traditionally, most loan officers have been of the mindset, go get yourself ready and come back and we'll get you going. What we're talking about today with KeySteps and with all of the FinLocker solutions. So, FinLocker does a enterprise white label solution for lenders, and we created KeySteps for loan officers of all channels, of all companies that aren't part of one of our enterprise clients. But what modern loan officers are saying, instead of come back when you're ready, let me help you get there. And KeySteps is a tool that's going to help that modern loan officer engage the consumer. And so what we're really talking about is this shift from a transactional focused loan officer to a relationship driven loan officer, or better said, a homeownership advisor. And what we're going to talk about today with KeySteps is how these homeownership advisors are leveraging technology to reach, assist, educate, engage, and nurture early journey first-time home buyers. And these are what winning loan officers are doing today to build tomorrow's pipeline. And this is a big mindset shift in our opinion. We know the market's challenging. We know that if all things being equal, we'd love to have people come to us ready to buy and ready to get a loan today. And that's still happening. There's still, referrals coming in from our realtor networks, but we also should be focused on building our own top of funnel organic lead gen strategy using our personal brands as that hook, right? KeySteps is a perfect tool to deploy with that strategy. Couple points that I've found in a couple studies. One is the JD Power 2024 Mortgage Origination Satisfaction Study, and this one really just brings home the value of getting up funnel and engaging home buyers much earlier in the process. What JD Power found when they surveyed home buyers and those that got mortgages, most of them, right? When they did their survey in 2024, they found that 43% of the borrowers actually initiated contact with a lender when they were just considering home ownership. So if you think of that as the point of thought versus, the traditional, the first time a lender and a consumer engages when the loan officer is introduced to the consumer by the realtor, that's like the point of sale. We're talking about the point of thought. And when that bond was created, that early bond, when it was created, it made it 20% less likely that that consumer would contact another lender and 54% less likely that they would submit multiple applications. And then the downside impact of that post-transaction, that same consumer's likelihood of referring or recommending that lender loan officer jumped to 69%, which was an increase from the prior year. So what JD Power found in their satisfaction survey was, it not only is it a good strategy, but it's a good business practice to engage consumers early, because you're going to build a better relationship with that consumer earlier in their process. They're less likely to shop you during the process and more likely to recommend you after they're successful in their home acquisition. So guys, I'm going to pivot quickly into the demo, and I'm going to show you a couple different aspects of our platform. But as we go into it, I want you to just think about this KeySteps platform and how we package it for loan officers. Because as you go through this demo and kind of learn about the feature functionality and that we have today, but also what's coming down the path, I want you to really think about the value that we're going to show you for a relatively low subscription fee, $115 a month. That gives you unlimited consumers and unlimited realtors, and we'll show you kind of how that all comes to life. So guys, I'm going to pivot now. Be patient with me. I'm going to share my screen. First thing I'm going to do, sorry, I got out of my own order here. I'm going to share this card. So this digital business card gets created for every loan officer that we set up in KeySteps, right? So in this case, I'm the loan officer. KeySteps is the product name in the upper right. And each loan officer that gets set up is set up with this unique invitation QR code. And then right below, you can see this URL, this tiny URL link. This QR or this URL link is essentially what you use as the tip of the spear pathway to get consumers to create their account under your instance of KeySteps. Okay, and so you'll see in some of the marketing that we show that we have this QR code will show up in a bunch of different places. Think of this wherever you're messaging to consumers the value prop, whether it's on your landing page off your website, whether it's on your signature line in your emails, whether it's on social media content. The QR code is going to draw people into your instance of the app. Now, while I have this on the screen, if anyone here has not yet seen the consumer experience yourself, take a moment, scan this QR code, and you'll see exactly how your prospects, your leads, your consumers, your past clients will engage with this technology. So I'll give you another few seconds, scan that QR code. You can then create your own consumer account. Don't worry, no one's going to see any of your stuff. This is my little test link. So it's just me that's behind there. You're going to see my ugly face inside your app, but this will give you a really good idea of how your customers, your prospects, your leads will engage with your version of KeySteps. All right, now I'm going to share my screen. So what we're going to look at here, guys, is a couple different screens here. I have to remember to let my screen upload first, so I'll be patient. So if we remember the QR code that I just showed a moment ago, it had me as the loan officer and it had that QR code. If I were to scan that QR code, it's going to take me to this landing page. And notice in the lower right, there I am again, the loan officer. That pops up in that landing page. So the landing page is going to do a couple things. It's the place where the consumer can either sign in if they've already created an account, or sign up or create an account. And we've just got some value prop on here that just supports the value, that what's in it for the consumer, why they should sign up. I'm going to skip through that because I want you all to see that yourselves when you go through the consumer experience. But what I'm going to do is go into our app itself. And here we go. Log back in. So now I'm logging into the actual dashboard, the consumer experience here. And so when a consumer creates an account, it's very, very simple. First name, last name, email address. Email address becomes user ID, create a password. The app will prompt the user, the consumer, for their mobile number. Consumer will get a quick and immediate text to MFA, multi-factor authenticate. And now they're in the dashboard. They're in the portal. I should note that we're looking at the web experience, the KeySteps web experience. When you all sign up as a loan officer, you'll also be driving your consumers to the web and or the native mobile app. KeySteps is a native mobile app. It's on Apple, it's on Android. And the user will be able to sign up and select whether they want to come through web or mobile. Most of our consumers, I think 80+% start with the mobile download, and then that's what they use throughout the experience. But the web and mobile experience are interchangeable. So one thing I'll show you before we get into the consumer side is how we carry through that loan officer branding, right? So remember the QR code, the digital business card QR code, Brian, the loan officer, drove to the sign up landing page. Brian, the loan officer, was prominent there. And now inside the app itself, here's Brian, the loan officer. So a couple things that are of note. Each of you, when you get set up, you'll have your headshot, obviously your name, your NMLS number. I don't have an NMLS number. All your contact information. 2 optional calls to action that you can set up when you get onboarded. One is a link to your calendar, which is an awesome way to remind your clients to schedule, especially your past clients, to schedule, semi-annual mortgage reviews. That can do it right from the app. So this would go right to your Calendly link or whatever scheduling software you use. And then notice also the start your application call to action. This would be behind this button is your individual link to your online application. So as a consumer is going through the readiness journey of KeySteps and they become ready to apply, they can go seamlessly right from KeySteps into your point of sale. And then last is a call to action just to create a email thread between the consumer and the loan officer. Now, since we're here, you'll notice to the right is Chris, the real estate agent. I referenced this on one of the opening screens that with the KeySteps subscription, which again is only $115 per month, if you sign up for our annual plan, you get not only unlimited consumers, right, that you can bring into the experience, but also unlimited realtors that you can partner with. And if you remember again, the digital business card that we looked at the beginning, each realtor you set up will have their own unique digital business card with a QR code and that quick link. That QR code and quick link, in this case, would link Chris and Brian and any consumer that comes into the KeySteps app based on Chris marketing it to his database or his sphere of influence. When they come in, they're going to be automatically connected to Chris, the agent, and Brian, the loan officer. Okay, I'm going to scroll to the top of our dashboard, and I want to talk about the personas. So when a consumer first creates their account, we ask the consumer a very simple question: where are you on your home ownership journey? There's 5 personas today and more that are coming. The 5 personas today, number one is, and we're going to spend all of our time in this demo talking about this first persona, which is just getting started. Just getting started is that early journey, 6, 12, 18-month up funnel first time home buyer. There's getting ready. That's the second persona. Getting ready, think of getting ready as the persona of someone that's 90 days from buying. And we have a lot of loan officers that are using the KeySteps app as a way to nurture and stay sticky with their pre-approvals and their pre-quals. So I just did a pre-qual, I just did a pre-approval. I'm going to invite that consumer now to create their free KeySteps account so they can monitor their credit, monitor their finances, make sure that pre-qual doesn't go sideways. But it's just another great way to stay sticky while that pre-qual is in the shopping phase. The next persona is what we call overcoming challenges. This is a turn down use case. Could be a formal turn down that went through underwriting. Could be an informal conversation that you had with a prospect where you learn they're just not yet ready due to credit, income, DTI. The app is a great way to help that consumer work on those areas that they're not quite ready, and then again stay sticky with you while they're going through that phase of getting back to a ready status. We have a ready persona. This ready persona is really interesting. We didn't develop it until we learned how some of our loan officers were using our technology as a lead magnet at the top of the funnel, namely for social media. So think of the loan officers that either you all are or the ones you see who have built a brand and built a persona around educating and preparing consumers for home buying and financing, and then using the KeySteps app as a call to action off of that social media content, that education content. Hey, download my free KeySteps app to help monitor your credit, to help simulate changes you need to make to improve your credit, to help prepare, budget, etc., for home buying. So the app became a lead magnet off of social media. And what we saw on average, consumers that were coming through that social media top of funnel approach were going through and assessing their readiness, and about 10% of them were actually ready to apply. So we created this persona that allows the consumer to tell you, the loan officer, when they create their account that they're ready now. That's going to also, not only are you going to get a notification when they create their account, but you're going to get a notification that they're actually ready, which is going to give you obviously a higher intent signal, and then a real reason to call right away. And lastly, we have our not looking. Think of this as a past client persona, and you'll see throughout the experience there's several of the widgets and tools that are extremely valuable, not just to prepare for home buying, but also are great for existing homeowners / past clients. Okay. So we've got a series of widgets on this dashboard. I'm going to go into our readiness assessment first, because this is what we see consumers come in and work on right away. So you'll notice here, our consumers got 4 stars, but just for fun, I'm going to come in, I'm going to lower the credit score manually to 600. I'm going to increase the monthly payments that this consumer has on their other debt to 3,500. And I'm going to lower the savings to $5,000. Okay. And I'm going to rerun my assessment. And you'll see that we're going to get a 1 star. So we went from 4 stars to 1 star just by those 3 data inputs. And now what we do with this 1 star is we convert that 1 star, or the 3 areas that the consumer doesn't have stars on, we convert those into an action plan that drives the consumer to tools in the KeySteps app that are going to help address the area that they're short. So if you recall, I changed our credit score manually to a 600. And so now it's showing me these 2 tools in the app that are going to help with credit related issues. I also changed the savings amount that the consumer has saved. and lowered it to a level that was below the consumer's stated target for saving for a down payment. So it shows me the spending tool, the spending analysis. Let's start by going into our credit simulator. And so the credit simulator is powered by the consumer connecting directly to their credit. It's a simple process when the consumer's onboarding into the KeySteps app. After they've created their account, they're prompted to link their credit. Last four digits of SOCH, current address, as long as the current address has been their current address for at least 2 years. We verify their identity. The credit score now is available, as well as the credit report, which I'll show you in a moment. But really cool, this simulator tool is now activated for our consumer. And so I'll just do one simulation. It's the one I like to do a lot. I'm going to simulate this action of reducing balances on credit cards by $20,000. And you'll see my score went from 808, current score, to 818. So it increased 10 points. So many of you guys, I'm sure, are familiar with some of the loan officer facing what if scenario tools that are out there. This is a DIY, right? A consumer facing DIY what if tool. This tool doesn't cost you a dime more than your subscription. And so now if you're kind of weighing whether or not I've got a consumer, based on their credit that's ready to apply, one of the great things you can do is actually engage that consumer, get them to create an account in KeySteps, link their credit, and actually run this simulator. And just like I'm sharing my screen with you guys here on this demo, you could schedule a call. Your customer, your consumer, your prospect, your lead shares their screen, and you can walk them through all these simulators, right? What does it do if I close an account, pay down balances? What if I change credit limits, raise, decrease, pay off all credit cards? And what if I even go the other way? And what if I were to simulate payments that I had to let go delinquent? Like for whatever reason, let's say I had to make a decision to let all my accounts go 60 days delinquent, and I run this simulator. It's going to be a big old fat negative 208, right? So you can see the negative impact of letting all accounts go delinquent. Okay. Simulator is a powerful, powerful tool, guys. Can't stress that enough. All right, let's go back to our dashboard. In that action plan, we talked about the spending analysis, the budgeting, and the goal setting. So the financial aspect of the action plan. Once a consumer links one or more of their financial accounts, and the financial accounts represent assets, right? Checking, saving, investment, 401k, IRA, life insurance policies, et cetera, on the asset side, but also liability accounts, personal loans, charge cards, gas cards, credit cards, student loans, auto loans, mortgage loans, all can be linked. And now the consumer sees all of their spending in one place. They can see it in a month over month view, drill into categories like just food and dining. And then this tees up the ability for the consumer to now set some spending budgets. Here's a couple of budgets, one for fast food. Here's one over here to the right for managing the home. But also they can create savings goals linked to one or more bank accounts in the app. And here's one that's created to save for closing costs and down payments. So when we think about the up funnel early journey strategy to bring consumers, into our funnel as home ownership advisors, leading with education, we're now, we're doing more than just educating on content. We're giving these consumers an interactive tool to help them address credit related items, financial related items, whether it's managing down their spending by budgeting or managing their savings towards a down payment. And we're doing that all inside of this closed ecosystem where you, the loan officer, are the single point of contact for that consumer. Okay. Let me fast forward a couple things I'll show you real quick. You'll notice throughout the experience, you'll see this estimated monthly payment. Again, I can't encourage you guys enough to test this as a consumer yourself. So hopefully you've scanned that QR code at the beginning, and then you'll see how this breaks down. But the users asked a couple questions in addition to the best identification of their persona. We asked them what their target purchase price is, their timeline for being ready to buy, their ideal down payment, and we use all that information to run these estimates, right? So let's go back into our assessment, because I forgot to show you a couple things here. If I go a layer deeper into this consumer's assessment, again, they have 1 star. Here's what you should note, and this is what you should be thinking about. The KeySteps app is going to perpetually analyze and assess all of your leads and prospects that are in this tool across 4 dimensions: cash to close, how much money have they saved for down payment and closing costs. The consumer can either self-report that, or they can link directly to the bank account or bank accounts that they're saving for closing costs and down payment. Employment and income. So we ask the consumer what best describes their employment. Are they salaried? We ask them who they work for. Here's a sneak peek, guys. In about 5 weeks, the same way a consumer links to their financial account, a bank account today, by credentialing in, we're going to provide access so the consumer can credential directly into their payroll account. Let me say that again. In 5 weeks, consumers that are in KeySteps will be able to be verified, perpetually verified on credit, including credit score, on assets, if they've linked their bank accounts, how much money have they saved, and measure that against their target down payment, and income and employment. Who do they work for? How long have they been at that employer? And what's their income? All perpetually assessed and updated. These are live data feeds, live connections. There's nobody else that's doing this at the top of the funnel like this. So what you're going to have, what you already have, is a super powerful top of funnel mortgage readiness lead nurture tool. But what you're going to have is a comprehensive nurture and readiness tool that is tied to certainty based on the direct source consumer permission to access to credit, assets, income, and employment. Unbelievably powerful, guys. Okay, we've also, credit score is one of our indicators. We use 640 as a proxy for readiness to apply. And we do that for a couple reasons. We are using a Vantage score in the experience. So we built a little buffer, between the average Vantage and FICO. But also, if we're thinking about those early journey first-time home buyers, these are really folks that are in the educate and prepare stage. And so anything they're doing to improve or sometimes impair their credit score from a Vantage score perspective is going to have more or less the directional impact on FICO. But notice here, even though this consumer said they had a 600 score, we have a message that, hey, you're only 40 points away from getting your star. Ask your loan officer if there are loans that may accept a lower credit score. And there's a call to action, talk to your lender. So I'll click that. You'll notice here, share with lender. This is going to fire off an email directly to the loan officer. Each of those things that I just punched on, including DTI, creates an instant notification for the consumer to ask a question to their loan officer. And if time permits, I'm going to go fast here. Hopefully I'll get to that, but I'll show you what those notifications look like on the back end. Okay, so I just went through the readiness assessment. Again, I encourage you all to download the app. There's more there, but I do want to go a little bit deeper into a couple other widgets. So in addition to the consumer getting their credit score, that score updates every 7 days. So every 7 days, the consumer is going to get an updated score in the KeySteps app. These are engagement opportunities. Our app is going to engage your prospects, your leads, your customers, your past clients on behalf of you at least once a week. And now credit score is going to be once per month unless the score for that consumer goes up or down plus or minus 5 points. Then they'll get a real-time alert. So we engage on things like credit score. We engage on things like property value, and I'll show you how consumers that already own a home can track the property that they own. And there's there's about a dozen plus other engagements that go out in addition to the consumer that first creates their account is going to be put on a first-time home buyer journey that's going to combine education content with reminders to the value of these tools in the app, drawing them back into the app on a regular basis. The consumer also has access in here to their entire credit report, right? So I'm scrolling down, I'm looking at my credit report as a consumer. I can see auto loans, credit cards, any mortgage loans, and then past closed accounts. Just for fun, I'll poke into one. Let's just poke into this mortgage account and just give you a flavor for the level of detail that we're showing here. So original balance, so the original loan amount, current balance, minimum payments, open date, credit history or pay history, all that good stuff. So there's a ton of detail in here that the consumer has access to. I said it before, but one of the things that we see loan officers doing is having consult calls after the consumer's created their KeySteps account, doing a screen share and going through and reviewing these, especially when you've talked to somebody and they're maybe on that sketchy area of whether their credit's, strong enough to apply or not. So when you think about, all the costs that you all are faced with as you engage and nurture consumers, one of those is the cost of credit. If you have anybody that's, on the fence with whether or not their credit is strong enough to apply, before you take on the added cost of running a credit report, you could suggest that your customer downloads the app, we do a screen share, and we review it together. We're seeing that happen as well. Okay, so that was the credit widget. Tons of engagement around the credit widget. By the way, I love the questions that are coming in. Thanks for those. Keep them coming. And thanks to the FinLocker team for addressing all these questions in real time. We have this set of widgets is what we call our financial accounts widgets or our finance widgets. So I should have started with having you think about some of the consumer-facing apps that are out in the marketplace that consumers use for personal finance. Apps like Credit Karma, Credit Sesame. We used to have Mint.com, certainly banking apps, any apps that allow you to connect to your credit and or your spending accounts. We think of those accounts as lead generation tools that are oftentimes selling that consumer as a lead to other financial institutions, including other lenders. This KeySteps ecosystem allows you as a loan officer to create and add value at the very top of the funnel using the same types of tools, financial tools that the biggest brands are using. And the most important factor though, when you're using this tool and they're coming into this experience, it's again a closed ecosystem. It's just you and the consumer. There's no ads. We're not selling any other products. They're not getting advertised. We don't sell leads. It's a closed ecosystem between you, the loan officer, and your pipeline, your prospect, your database. So I won't spend a ton of time here, but I'll just open this up and show you an example of a consumer that's linked several financial accounts, including checking, credit cards, money market, mortgage accounts, savings accounts. And then the connecting of those accounts is what keeps or what updates all that transactional spending data. And it powers the analysis to help consumers understand A, where they're spending money today, and then B and C, when they set budgets and savings goals, we track those and give the consumer updates on how they're progressing on those things. Okay, so let's go into real estate or our properties widget. So I clicked into our property search. Let me close that out. Oh, come on. Here we go. And so we're in our property search. This is a national MLS platform. Consumers can come in, search for properties. I just opened up my zip code. Favorite properties. So here's a property on Gwinnett Loop. I'm going to favorite that. Whoops, shouldn't have done that. It kicked me out. Let's try this again. So when I favorite a property, it's going to show up back in the app. But this search is going to make available all properties for sale. consumers can do all their cool filtering by price range, zip code, school district, beds and bath. But there's a couple other features that are cool. Like, let's just say I want to see homes that have kitchens with white cabinets, hardwood. I can't spell. Sorry, guys. Hardwood floors and stainless steel appliances. So I'm going to add that to my search filter. The AI in the search platform is going to look at my base filter, zip code, beds, bath, and then it's also going to look for my best match for what I just put in there. Now, I don't know why I brought this brown cabinets, but I looked for white cabinets, hardwood floors, stainless steel. So it's bringing back properties that best match the attributes that I put in the AI search filter. So let's go back into our base locker here. Whoops, wrong tab. Here we go. So remember, I favorited a property or two in there. And so this is super cool. This is where we intersect financial readiness, right? What can I afford? What would my payment look like based on my readiness assessment with property search and favorited properties? So one of the things that I like to show is, like, when we're shopping on Amazon and we're looking at a product that might have a couple different, brands on it, you can do the compare and contrast products. So you can do the same thing here. A consumer can come in and favorite a handful of properties. I'll just open those up on here and then scroll through and see where the property is in their budget, what their estimated payment would be, and just do a side by side comparison. Okay, go back to the main dashboard, scroll down a bit. And I'm going to pivot a little bit into our use case where the consumer already owns a home and show you this cool feature. So when a consumer already owns a home, they'll be prompted to link that property. Here's a property in New Orleans. We then go grab through an API the property value. Property value updates every 30 days. So that's another engagement opportunity. And what's cool about this feature is, again, this is already included in the subscriptions. It's not an added cost for you as a loan officer to offer a property value a property value engagement strategy. And so, I know there's other platforms out there that people use for engagement around valuation. That's now something you have embedded in your KeySteps experience. Today, it's inside the KeySteps app. Another updated a roadmap item that we're working on, this is probably going to be late spring, early summer, will be the ability to engage consumers by having the loan officer just add, first name, last name, email address, and property address into the admin portal, and we'll put them into a property value nurture journey. And so the same way these other platforms engage via email on property value, you'll have that as part of this platform as well. But for now, this is exactly what it looks like in the app. What's different about this is not only do we have a bank rated AVM, but our estimated equity is based on the consumer actually connecting directly to their mortgage account. The same way they would connect to a bank account, they connect to their mortgage account, credential into it. And now when that balance on the mortgage account changes in real time, it updates the estimated equity. So we've got a much more accurate dynamic view of equity based on how we prompt the consumer to connect directly to their mortgages. And in the app, inside the app, as a consumer, I can have multiple properties. I think it's up to 10. It might be more than that. One of my guys will correct me in the comments if it's more. But now, because I've linked multiple properties in here, including mortgages against those properties, that net equity position shows up in my net worth view. So if you have clients that own multiple properties, they can now have this kind of single pane of glass view of all of their finances, including the net equity in the properties that they own. Pretty cool feature. Okay, so there's a ton of stuff here, guys. I went fast through the consumer experience because I do want to leave a little bit of time to show the back end. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to play another short video for you. This is a video that's an example of a piece of content we've created for our KeySteps loan officers that are using at the top of the
Credit score
funnel.
is key to home ownership.
Hold on, let me start at the beginning. This video is being used at the top of the funnel by loan officers on KeySteps as, think of it as a social media post promoting the credit features of KeySteps with a call to action to download. So let me play that for you here.
Your credit score is key to home ownership. With KeySteps, you get a fresh credit update every 7 days. No hard inquiries. Track your score, review your full credit report, and use the credit simulator to see how different financial moves can impact your score. Plus, Credit Compass helps you stay on the best path forward, and real-time monitoring keeps you informed. Stay in control of your credit journey with KeySteps.
So that's an example of, again, some marketing content that we've created for all of our KeySteps loan officer users. And I'm going to show you in a bit here more of the content we've created for all y'all. But before I do that, I'm going to show you the back end of the KeySteps experience. This is the admin portal. This is where the loan officer lives. And so what you're going to see in the admin portal, and I'm going to go quickly through here. We've got a quick starting guide. So everything you need to know about how to use the admin portal, how to set up unique invitation links if you want to do campaign-driven marketing and create specific custom invitation links that you can track back to the campaign, how to add real estate agents, how to track your pipeline, all that good stuff. But at a glance, you're going to see your total number of consumers, how many you've added in the current month. Over here to the right, we segment your total population by these journey tags, by the persona. So early journey, first-time home buyer, not looking, etc. Quick view of your users. I'll scroll down here. We segment all of your consumers by credit score bucket. We also segment for you at a glance. You can see where your portfolio of users stands by 4-star versus 1-star, etc. And then your recent 4-star customers, prospects, are right here for you. Your customer success account manager is always available in here for you. And then I'll show you this quick feature. We have a closed chat bot. So you can use this chat bot to ask any kind of questions. So like, how do I create an agent inside of KeySteps? This is going to go grab the information and bring it back to you. Here's all the instructions on how to create an agent, realtor. You could write a prompt, create a 30-second video script highlighting the value of KeySteps for a early journey, first time home buyer. So if you wanted to create your own video, you could hit our chat bot, put this prompt in, create a 30-second video highlighting the value of KeySteps for an early journey, first time home buyer. We have uploaded all of our marketing content, all of the resources that are behind the KeySteps technology, all the feature functionality, widgets, explanations, details on that. And this chatbot is now creating a video script. It's just taking a little longer than I'd like. I should have done this before, but that's okay. So this script is going to come back and give you something that you can then use to put in your own words. And then we've got video content with and without audio. And so if you want to use one of our videos that doesn't have audio, you can put your own video script on top. All right, it's taking too long. I'm too impatient. We'll come back to that. Let's scroll down and let's go look at one of our users in the app. So I'm going to scroll down. Let's find a juicy one here. Let's go here. So we've got our consumer at the top, their contact info, their status. This one's overcoming challenges, the credit score range. We show you the loan officer, the credit score range in a 10-point band, current and most recent. So this consumer improved their score. So this would be a good reason to have an outreach follow-up check-in with the consumer. You could see all the stated goals and objectives that the consumer said that they were trying to do. This one was trying to improve their finances. And then you see the details on all of their readiness runs, right? So the consumer ran, and on this date, on the 19th alone, this user ran readiness 5 different times. And that's one of the cool things we're seeing is the readiness tool has become this calculator on steroids because it's using consumer permission direct source data, consumer contributed data, including their goals and objectives and intent. And then they use the readiness assessment to kind of back into or find their ideal purchase price and their ideal mortgage payment. So you have visibility into all that. And so if I'm thinking about the admin portal as a great place to log in every morning and kind of prioritize who you should follow up with today. Okay, I'm going to keep moving here, guys. So the next thing I'll show you is what we call our resource center. So each of you that signs up will have access to this resource center. And just because I like to stir the pot with my team, just because you showed up for this demo, I'm going to give you access to it right now. So I just put it in the chat. So this resource center has email campaigns. Here's a home buyer lead nurturing email series. I'm not going to open it because we don't have time to look at it. There's scripting. Here's a script that is going to help you help 100 first-time home buyers. Here's a past client homeowner email and text invite journey. Here's a consumer invitation workflow for not yet ready consumers. We have a handful of videos already prepared. I already showed you the Meet KeySteps video. We have this video is a consumer overview of the features of the app. And then here's a feature on all things property value for the consumer. We have some templates for updating your LinkedIn profile, your Facebook banner that highlights your KeySteps app. We have built a home buyer workshop outline, a curriculum with blog resources to help you build content to do first-time home buyer webinars and seminars. We've created content, Instagram and Facebook image content with various features. This is a series of 8 posts that are what we call a first-time home buyer social media journey. Imagine dropping one of these posts every 2 or 3 days with a call to action, download our free KeySteps app. We've got the same for LinkedIn. We've got all the information you need to understand how to co-brand with your agents, including some tutorial videos, some short videos you can share with your realtors on the value. This is what it looks like when we set up a realtor, including that digital business card, some more marketing content, including a link to our Canva where you can go in and modify and play with this content. So much stuff there, guys, in the resource center. And Ethan, who's on the call, has become a marketing guru. He's creating new content. As you guys are giving him ideas, he's going in and creating content to help you at the top of the funnel create new relationships that are going to be sticky through that journey. Okay. Let me stop my share. I am making good time here. It's hard to believe. I'm going to show you, since we have time, and I mentioned that we have about a dozen to 18 notifications and calls to action inside the consumer app that trigger an immediate notification to loan officers. And so I'll just thumb through these. This is the real-time notification you would get as a loan officer when a new user creates an account. So you'll know immediately in real time when someone creates an account. Here's one that is, I can't even see this. Here is one that is indicating somebody just got to 4 stars. So Brian's the LO. Hey, Brian, congratulations. Chris just got 4 stars. He wants to purchase a house at $330K. He's good on cash, credit, DTI, and employment. Here's a notification that Chris shared a snapshot from his readiness assessment. Here's the detail behind that, his income, his credit, DTI. Here's a notification that Chris used the homeownership snapshot and set a target monthly payment goal. I didn't show you that in the demo, but the consumer can actually set a goal of a monthly target payment. And so this gives Chris that, or Brian, the analysis there. Here's another one that Chris just saved a home that they searched for through the property search. So now you have intent signals, right? We're giving you signals of intent when consumers are creating a search filter and searching and favoriting homes. Those, anything that's property related, filters, search, saved properties. If you have a realtor attached to the consumer, they're going to get that same notification. Here's one that says this, that Chris was using property search. Here's an alert for Chris, the borrower, just click Brian's start your loan application call to action. So now I would know to go look in my point of sale to see if Chris started the process in my point of sale. And then I have another one when Eric, the borrower, just linked a property. So he's tracking a property in the app. So those are examples of all the notifications that you get as a loan officer in real time. I should have said when we were in the admin portal, much of the data that's in the admin portal, we have available for our enterprise clients to ingest through API. And Chris Hazen from the team is leading a project to create some API connectivity for KeySteps users. More to come on that. Let's see here. Let's go to the last thing I want to show, which is our roadmap. So I kind of teased some of this already, but we're getting towards the top of the hour. So first off, on the screen, I've got the QR code. This again will allow you to learn more about KeySteps, more than what I've gone over today, which is a lot. You can kind of see the subscription options there. We have a month-to-month and an annual. I talked about the annual subscription being $115 per month. You can set up a one-on-one if you want on that page as well. So that's what the QR code there is for. And then here's what's on the roadmap. I've talked about property value engagement already. I talked about, even though I didn't put it on here, I talked about the roadmap, including the ability for a consumer to link to their payroll. When I showed you guys the readiness summary, the 4 stars, and when I showed you the various data points in the credit widget, including credit score, including the credit detail, we are working on what we call a readiness summary, where the consumer in their app will be able to share a snapshot with you, the loan officer, and only you. And this is under the guise of the consumer working with you as their home ownership coach and preparing them for the home buying process. And so in the spirit of teaching, educating, and nurturing and preparing consumers for home buying and financing, we're giving the consumer the ability to consent to share visibility into their readiness. But more than just the 4 stars that I already showed you, we're going to give you a summary of that credit score in a 10-point band. We're going to let you know if there's any red flags on their credit, like bankruptcies, foreclosures, deeds in lieu, et cetera. That summary is going to include a summation of their liabilities, their monthly liability payments. It's going to break down the liabilities by credit cards versus, mortgages or home loans if they have those. If the consumers provided us their income, either self-reported or through that link I described, we're going to give you that information in that summary. And also the last thing, if they've provided their balance, their bank balances, either self-reported or connected, you'll see that in there. So this summary, this readiness summary, if you're using this up the funnel 6, 12, 18 months before someone's ready to buy and apply, this is going to help you have the most engaged, meaningful, impactful conversations with your prospects, with your leads, and get them to a place where they can confidently and with certainty have a successful home buying and financing experience. That's a massive roadmap item, guys. We're super excited about that. In support of first-time home buyers, we've partnered with First Home IQ. Many of you on the call, I recognize names as being familiar with and part of First Home IQ. First Home IQ is a nonprofit focused on financial literacy, financial education, empowering loan officers as ambassadors to educate young people in their communities around financial literacy and financial preparation for home ownership. And so we've got access to that same content to create very highly curated, highly impactful first-time homebuyer education and nurturing campaigns that lead to somebody creating an account in KeySteps. I talked a little bit about the APIs, the expanded APIs, and then last thing, today we provide the ability for you to coexist or co-brand with an agent, multiple agents actually. We are working on the ability to modify the coexistence, co-brand, if you will, for other professionals, be it CPAs, attorneys, financial planners, et cetera. So much focused on helping you, the loan officer, stand out in your community, be the best resource for financial literacy, financial education, financial preparation, help you compete and win at the point of thought versus being forced to compete on best price at the point of sale. This is all about you all getting up funnel and having the ability to widen the scale and scope of early journey first-time homebuyers that you can serve and help achieve that ultimate goal of home ownership. I covered a ton. I barely took a breath. Again, I see all the questions that were answered along the way. Thank you guys for the comments and the questions. I'm going to close this out by playing our, well, let me do one more thing. Somebody asked, sent me a text. Again, if you haven't, if now you're convinced that you need to check out the consumer experience, I'll put this back up. You can scan that QR code and download the KeySteps as a consumer yourself and check it out. And then I'll play us out with a overview video. So this is going to be the same video we opened with. I'm going to close with. Think of this again. This video is available to you when you sign up to use as a marketing asset to help bring people into your funnel. Come on now. Oops, I got to switch my view here. Give me a second. Let's let it load up. While it's circling and loading, I will remind you again, the subscription fee, you can hit one of the QR codes I showed earlier, and you'll be able to access our subscription page. And we're here for any questions, follow up. Just message us either in the comments or DM myself, Chris, Adrian, Ethan, who are on. But here's what we'll leave you with as we close out.
Meet KeySteps, the app that guides you through every step of your homeownership journey, no matter where you're starting from or where you're at now. And the best part, it's completely free. With KeySteps, you can monitor your credit score and credit report and even simulate changes to see how they could impact your future home purchase. The Homeownership Snapshot provides a personalized mortgage readiness assessment along with a dynamic action plan to guide you every step of the way. Enrolling financial accounts allows you to track your net worth, savings, and spending with ease and get a clear picture of your financial health. Search for your dream home, favorite the ones you love, and see how they fit into your financial picture, all within the app. Need expert advice? With KeySteps, you're always connected to your loan officer. Reach out anytime, right through the app. Plus, dive into a wealth of educational content to help you make informed financial decisions, and rest assured your data is safe and secure and never shared without your permission. KeySteps, because your journey to homeownership deserves the best tools, and they're all right here. Meet KeySteps, the app that guides you through every step of your homeownership journey, no matter where you're starting from or where you're at now. And the best part, it's completely free. With KeySteps, you can monitor your credit score and credit report and even simulate changes to see how they could impact your future home purchase. The Homeownership Snapshot provides a personalized mortgage readiness assessment along with a dynamic action plan to guide you every step of the way. Enrolling financial accounts allows you to track your net worth, savings, and spending with ease and get a clear picture of your financial health. Search for your dream home, favorite the ones you love, and see how they fit into your financial picture, all within the app. Need expert advice? With KeySteps, you're always connected to your loan officer. Reach out anytime, right through the app. Plus, dive into a wealth of educational content to help you make informed financial decisions, and rest assured your data is safe and secure and never shared without your permission. KeySteps, because your journey to homeownership deserves the best tools, and they're all right here.